All right, race fans, here we go. They're going to be bumper to bumper, door to door. Danny O'Neill, Ace O'Neill up there on that front row. Lights are off. They're going to hit that green cone down between 3 and 4. And we're going to be rocking and rolling. They're going to feel the work on into 3. Out at turn number 4. Green flag going to be up and out and in the air for heat number 1. Got Danny O'Neill going to have the lead down in there through 1 and 2. We're going to be clean and clear. Jerry Brown going to get up and under the 2 of Ace O'Neill as Mark Davis going to slide into that number 2 spot. Coming out of turn number 4, lap 1, going to go to Danny O'Neill, Mark Davis, Ace O'Neill. Slingshots around Brown on the outside as Brown kind of bobbled it going through 3 and 4. They're going to be single file as they come out of turn number 2 down the back stretch. It's still the 53 of Danny O'Neill in first, but Mark Davis coming up. He's on the back bumper. He's to the back quarter panel as you got a drag race for the lead. Down to 1 and 2, they're going to go. Mark Davis down to the bottom side. He's got the run. Danny O'Neill's not got enough as Davis going to have about 3/4 of a car length. Oh, O'Neill slides up the hill. That's going to let the 56 of Mark Davis slide into that number 1 spot. Danny O'Neill second, Ace O'Neill third, and Jerry Brown 4th. Jerry Brown out here, first time out here tonight in this super stock, shaking it down, seeing what she can do, what she'll think of the track. And so far, he's looking pretty good in it. As they're going to go down to the 1 and 2, the 56, Mark Davis, he's still going to be your race leader. As they're going to go down to turn 3 and 4, white flag, going to see one more trip around. As they're going to go down to the 1 and 2 for the final time. Josh Sharpley down there in turn 2, taking some amazing photos. He runs unforgotten shots, and he does a great job. We're going to come out of turn number 4 to the checkered flag for the 56 of Mark Davis. Danny O'Neill, Ace O'Neill, and Jerry Brown round out your field. All right, race fans, here comes your Power Eye Midwest mods. Heat number 1 out on the track. They're going to line up like this on the pole. Going to be the 83R of Ryan Smythe. And to his outside, the 64 of Pete Gots-to-Go Richardson. Row number 2 going to be the 09 of Austin Beeman. On his outside, the 00M of Matt Brookshire. Row number 3, you got the 16A of Shannon Geller. And on his outside, the 7C of Derek Cook. Down into turn 3, we're going to rock and roll. Smythe on that front row, Richardson on the outside, green flag up, out, underway for heat number 1 of your Midwest Modifieds. Oh, look out, Austin Beam drove right into the backside of Brookshire as the yellow is out, yellow is out. All right, so we didn't get a lap completed. No lap completed means we're going to go back to original restarts or original starting positions. So you got Ryan Smythe and Pete Richardson on that front row. Shannon Geller, Derek Cook, row number 2, and Austin Beam going to be there in that 3rd row. We got a rogue fan running down the backstretch. right, here we go. Lights are off, ladies and gentlemen. As we're going to go down the back stretch. The end of 3, we're going to try this again. Smythe, Richardson, front row, green cone, green flag. Let's go. Richardson going to jump out to that early race lead. Oh, chops the nose off Smythe. He had to hammer down on the brakes. That's going to let Cook and Geller come up and around. Make it a 3-wide battle down the back stretch. As Geller going to slide up, chop the nose off of Cook. Here comes Smythe. He's going to try to battle it back up into that number 2 spot where he was. As Pete Richardson says, see ya, bye-bye, as he's going to be gone down the back stretch. The end of 3 and 4. It is going to be the 64 of Pete Richardson, your race leader. Shannon Geller, Ryan Smythe, Derek Cook, top 4, followed in by Austin Beam. As Austin Beam's going to loop it around over there in turn number 4, bringing out the second caution. Debris. We got debris. Does anybody know what movie that's off of?
Speaking of Twisters, I've already watched the new one.
All right, so we're going to restart them. Delaware double file style. The way that works, the leader's going to be out front by his lonesome. The man in second is going to choose whether he wants the top side or the bottom side. Man in third is going to go to the opposite. Man in fourth is going to go down, fifth top, and they file in from there. So it looks like Shannon Geller is going to go down to the bottom side, going to put Ryan Smythe up on the top shelf. Derek Cook down on the bottom side, and Austin Beam up on the top side, as Richardson going to be out front by himself. Out at turn number 4, green flag going to be up and out and in the air for heat number 1 of your Midwest Modifieds. Down to the 1. Richardson leads them in. Geller is going to try to power it out. Not going to get it to stick as Richardson going to power down the backstretch and create some separation. Here comes Ryan Smythe around the top side of the speedway, trying to hold on to third, but Derek Cook down on the bottom side. That's where the battle is now for third and fourth. As Cook's going to have the bottom side of the speedway, going to slide up into third. Down through 3 and 4. It is all Pete Richardson, Shannon Geller, Derek Cook. That's your top 3. And down the back stretch, Pete Richardson's going to have the lead as he's got about a 6-car lead over the 16A of Shannon Geller. They're going to cross the stripe. It is Richardson, Geller, Cook, and Smythe. And Beam's going to round out the field there into the number 5 spot. White flag, one more trip around for the 64 of Pete. Gots to go Richardson. Shannon Geller is going to have to try to run him down right now. He's got to make it or break it. Look out. Austin Beam going to loop it around through 3 and 4. He's going to park it. Everybody going to go top side. Checkered flag for the 64 of Pete Richardson. Shannon Geller, Derek Cook, your top 3. And that's going to wrap up heat number 1. Up next is going to be heat number 2 for your Midwest Modifieds. And here's how they're going to line up. On the pole, going to be the 87 of Aaron Odell. And on his outside, the 15R of Oakley Ragland. Row number 2, going to be the 65 of the Opportunist Trent Wynn. And on his outside, the 7 of Garrett Parker. Row number 3, going to be the 00T of Trenton Brookshire. I want to thank everybody for watching live right now. If you are watching live, go ahead and comment on there where you're watching from. Except for you, Tori Arnett. I know where you're watching from. You're in Mount Vernon. Down into turn 3, green cone, green flag. Let's go. Down into 1 and 2. Oakley Ragland's going to have the race lead, but the opportunist Trent Wynn going to be right there to the bottom side. He's at the quarter panel. Then you got Odell and Brookshire battling out for 3rd and 4th. Down into 3 and 4. Ragland slides up the hill. Trent Wynn going to take lap 1. Oakley Ragland 2nd. Here comes the double OT of Trenton Brookshire. As Brookshire down to the bottom side of Ragland. Down the backstretch where the battle's going to be for 2nd as Brookshire, a man on the mission, as he's going to come out of turn 4 up into the number 2 spot, trying to chase down that 65 of Trent Wynn. Out of turn 4, it is Trent Wynn, your race leader. Trenton Brookshire, Oakley Ragland, top 3, followed in by Garrett Parker and Aaron Odell, your top 5. Trent Wynn's got a commanding lead. A lot of separation between all the cars, actually. Garrett Parker there in that black and purple number 7 trying to run down Oakley Ragland there in the 15R, that beautiful blue and orange car. As they come out of turn 4, Parker trying to close the gap. Brookshire trying to roll. Brookshire slides up the hill, jumps the cushion. That's going to let Ragland and Parker come around. And that is going to give Trent Wynn almost a little over a full straightaway lead over the 15R of Oakley Ragland. Garrett Parker now trying to hold on to 3rd. As they come out of turn 4, you're going to see the doctor's jacket one more trip around. Brookshire trying to get around the 7 of Garrett Parker. Look how Brookshire threw it in a little hard. Going to loop her around in 1 and 2. Out of turn 4. Checkered flag for the 65 of Trent Wynn. Oakley Ragland 2nd and Garrett Parker 3rd. And that's going to wrap up heat number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, going to be heat number 3, and here's how they're going to line up. On the pole, going to be the 4 of Caleb Rhodes, and on his outside, the 8K of Tyler Cadunston. Row number 2, going to be the 43 of Jamie Petty, and on his outside, the 14 of John Newell. Row number 3, going to be the 27 of Terry Williams, all by himself. All right, they're going to be doubled up, door to door, bumper to bumper. Stacked and packed, ladies and gentlemen. Down into turn 3, they're going to go. Rhodes, Cadunston on that front row. Green cone, green flag is out and in the air. Let's go with heat number 3, our final heat of the Midwest Modifieds. Down through 1 and 2, they're going to go Tyler Cadunston, going to go to the top shelf as Rhodes going to be down to the bottom side of the speedway. Cadunston, he's good at making the top side quick here at the mighty Midway as he's going to get it done. Lap 1 goes to Tyler Cadunston, Caleb Rhodes, Jamie Petty, your top 3. As Terry Williams all over the back bumper there, Jamie Petty. Caleb Rhodes trying to gain some momentum on that AK, but Tyler Cadunston is fast around the top side of the track here at Lebanon Speedway. Right now it is still the 8K of Tyler Cadunston, your race leader. Caleb Rhodes 2nd. Terry Williams now up into 3rd. As Jamie Petty is shuffled on back into 4. John Newell going to be sitting back there in that 5th spot. Cadunston staying on the top shelf of the track. Rhodes down on the bottom side. You got one dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight, the other one catfishing. As Cadunston making the top side work. Rhodes trying to close the gap, run down your race leader. And Terry Williams sitting there in no man's land all by himself in third. Rhodes starting to close the gap as we got the white flag. One more trip around for the 8K of Tyler Cadunston down the backstretch. They're going to go for the final time. Into turn 3 and 4. Checkered flag for the 8K of Tyler Cadunston. Caleb Rhodes, Terry Williams, your top 3. That's going to wrap up your Midwest Modifieds. Up next, we got your PowerEye Pure Stocks Heat number 1. And I tell you what, I'm going to have my son read the lineup for these guys.
Bet. Starting on the pole in row 1, we have the N42 of Chad Nivens. On the outside of Chad Nivens, we have the 17 of Austin Wilson. Row 2, we have the 12 of Greg Dykstra. Right on the outside of 12 of Greg Dykstra, we have the 14 of Derek Davis. On row 3, we had the 5 of Justin McDowell. Right next to Justin McDowell, we have the 42 of Trevor Ellingson.
All right, nice job, Charlie. As it appears, we got the 5 of Justin McDowell not making the call unless he needs a push start or something. So we're live on Facebook right now with Show Me Dirt, and I'm getting messages and all kinds of stuff saying, "Oh, I'm watching." I just got a message from Tori Arnett, said that they have the TV in the garage hooked up, and they are working on race cars, watching the live. So thank y'all for watching at home. As Justin McDowell's going to get a little help from the push truck over there at the top of turn 3. You got Chad Nevins, Austin Wilson on that front row. Oh, look, he's spinning the tires. Nice burnout. All right, race. We're going to stack them up for heat number 1 of your PowerEye Pure Stocks. Extra money in the feature for the Pure Stocks. Chad Nevins, Austin Wilson. As we're going to go down the back stretch. 6 cars, 8 laps your distance. Into 3 at a snail's pace. They're going to be led on in. Their green cone, green flag up and out and in the air as we're going to hustle on down the front stretch and into 1 and 2. We are going to be 2 wide all the way through the field through 1 and 2. Everybody's clean and clear. Dykstra going to slide up into 3rd of the back bumper of the 17 of Austin Wilson. As Nevin's going to have the race lead, but here comes that 17 machine. Derek Davis, Greg Dykstra's right there. Throw a blanket on the whole field as it is anybody's race right now. We are still door to door for 3 rows deep. Oh, look out. Dykstra got into Davis. Davis got sent around. As there is a yellow. We go immediately to the yellow. So Derek Davis got a little heated, which I don't blame him there. All right, so after reviewing everything, it looks like Dykstra did get in to the 14. So we're going to put Greg Dykstra back behind the 14 of Derek Davis. Chad Niven's going to be out front. Austin Wilson's going to get his lane choice. He's going to go down to the bottom side. Trevor Ellingson's going top side. Justin McDowell down to the bottom. Derek Davis up. And Greg Dykstra going to be back there all by his lonesome. Ooh, Ronnie, your wife's watching on live. Green flag going to be in the air. Down the back stretch, they are going to go. Into 3 still the N42 out front, your race leader, but here comes Austin Wilson, and here comes that 24 of Trevor Ellingson. He's up into the number 2 spot now, as he's going to be on the top side of the speedway. Derek Davis trying to squeeze through and get up there, as well as you're about to have a 4-car battle for the race lead, as you got a battle coming out of turn number 4. We are almost 3 wide back here for second. They're going to be 3 wide going down into turn 1 and 2. Look at the race you got here. 3 wide out of 2 down the back stretch. 4 cars all together as they go down into 3. Nobody's touching. Nobody's bumping. You got clean racing. Look at the driving there. Derek Davis on a mission. Chad Nevens trying to hold on. Trevor Ellingson up into the number 2 spot, but Derek Davis driving like a man possessed. He's slicing and dicing. As you got a battle for the race lead. Davis sitting back there in 3rd. Austin Wilson 4th. Greg Dykstra 5th. And McDowell 6th. As Nevens got a little too high coming out of turn number 2. That's going to let Ellingson slide up into the number 1 spot. Derek Davis right there all over the back bumper. White flag, 1 to go as Davis up into 2nd. Trevor Ellingson, that race lead. Derek Davis, make it or break it time. Checkers or wreckers as they go into 3 and 4. Checkered flag for the 24. Trevor Ellingson, Derek Davis, Chad Nivens, 1, 2, and 3. Whoo, man, that was a good race. That got my blood pressure up. Up next, going to be heat number 2 for your POWRi Pure Stocks. And Charlie, I tell you what, why don't you tell me and all these beautiful fans how they're going to line up for heat 2?
Starting on row 1 in the inside, we have the 25 of Aaron Ricks. On the outside, we have the 21 of Paint McDowell. Row 2, we have the 13 of Ryder On the outside we have the 22 R of Colby Rathbone. Row 3, we have the 4G of Shane Headley. On the outside, we have the 03 of Dustin Harlan.
All right, we got only 5 out of the 6 cars here. Green flags in the air. As McDowell going to go to the top side down through 1 and 2. Rathbone going to be right there on the back bumper. Aaron Ricks tried to play a little defense. He didn't get it to stick. As it is Peyton McDowell for lap 1. Colby Rathbone and Aaron Ricks, your top 3. Shane Headley sits there in 4th. As Headley loops it through 1 and 2. Dustin Harrell, great driving, avoiding it. Headley going to fire it back up, keep her rolling. As the battle for the lead is underway between Rathbone and McDowell. Down through 1 and 2 they're going to go. And Colby Rathbone's going to have the race lead going down the back stretch. And Headley goes around again through 1 and 2, hits the top berm, yellow flag, yellow flag, yellow flag. Shane Headley and turn 1 and 2 are just not getting along tonight. So Rathbone and McDowell battling it out for the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Colby Rathbone there in that beautiful 22R, representing Bring It and Sling It Wraps, home of Wrap on Horsepower. And I tell you what, I've seen some of the work that Colby does with those wraps, and whoo, doggy, I tell you what, that's purty. So Colby Rathbone going to be your race leader as we're going to stack them up Delaware double file style. Lights are off. They got the one to go from the starter stand. McDowell going to be in second. Aaron Ricks third. Down the back stretch into 3, out of turn 4. Green flag going to be back in the air. Down to the 1 and 2. Rathbone going to go right back down to the bottom side of the speedway. As it is Rathbone out front. Yellow, 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 yellow. Shane Headley, Dustin Harrell getting together down here in turn 1 and 2. So if you're watching here on the replay, brought to you by Show Me Dirt. Oh, Lord, Headley just got sideways right in front of Harrell. Harrell had nowhere to go. And Harrell just pushed Headley. So tough break for Dustin Harrell as he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. As you can see down there in turn 2, we got quite a bit of moisture on the track. So we're going to have these drivers kind of run through it, try to get rid of that moisture down there. Right now, it is Colby Rathbone in that 22R, your race leader. Peyton McDowell, Aaron Ricks, 1, 2, and 3. Here's the good news. Everybody in this race is guaranteed a top 3 spot. Unless Headley can get the tire or tires back on the car and get back out here before we go green. So trying to take a peek back there, and I see people at Headley's car, but I'm not 100% sure what they're doing. So Lebanon Speedway safety crew down there got the 03 of Dustin Harrell hooked up to the tow truck. So Lebanon Speedway safety crew down there. I want to thank everybody again for coming out to the Speedway tonight. Thank you for those of you watching at home. However, we'd love to see your smiling faces right here at the track. However, I understand if you got sick or wasn't feeling good and couldn't make it out tonight. Don't forget, next weekend, I got the Bill Ragland Memorial. Big payday for the Midwest Modifieds. So as the 03 of Dustin Harrell gets a little help back to his trailer, we're going to stack these guys up. Bumper to bumper, single file restart here for your second and final heat race in your Power Eye Pure Stocks. Down into 3, they're going to go led in by the 22R Colby Rathbone. Green flag going to be up and out and in the air as we're going to hustle on down the front stretch. Down through 1 and 2, they're going to rock and roll. Rathbone already got a very good lead as he's going to go down into turn 3. Peyton McDowell going to be sitting there in that 21. As we come out of turn number 4, it is all Colby Rathbone, Peyton McDowell, Aaron Ricks. They're going to come out of turn 4. It is still the 22R of Colby Rathbone representing those Brain It and Slain It wraps. The home of Wrap On Horsepower. Shout out to Rockin' R Concrete who has added money for this class here tonight. As the 25 of Aaron Ricks trying to run down that 21 machine of Peyton McDowell. Colby Rathbone got 2 to go. As almost everybody's down on the bottom side, Ricks kind of slid up through the middle there. As they go down into turn 3, they're going to come out of turn 4. You're going to see the doctor's jacket in the air. One more trip around for Colby Rathbone. Down the back stretch and into 3 for the final time here in your second and final heat race, as we're going to see the black and white for the 22R of Colby Rathbone, Peyton McDowell, and Aaron Ricks. 1, 2, and 3. All right, race fans, that's going to wrap up your Pure Stocks. Up next going to be heat number 1 for your Power Eye B mods, and here is how they're going to line up.
Row 1, on the inside, we have the 5C of Brian Cook. On the outside, we have the 14C of Cody Crabtree. Row 2, we have the 49 of Mason Rodden. On the outside, we have the 15 of Jeremy Hazel.
All right, race fans, 4 cars here in your heat number 1. As the lights are off, down the back stretch, they are going to go. Cook, Crabtree on the front row. Roden, Hazel, row number 2. Out at turn number 4. Green flag going to be up and out and in the air.
Coming out of turn 1 and 2, we have the 5C of Brian Cook. The 14C of Cody Crabtree is coming down the back stretch to turn 3 and 4. Cody Crabtree is going to try to make his way up on the top of Brian Cook.
Well, Brian Cook going to be your race leader, ladies and gentlemen. Cody Crabtree going to be right down there to the number 2 spot. Jeremy Hazel slides up into 3rd. Mason Roden 4th. As Crabtree's got the run, you got a new race leader, the 14C of Cody Crabtree.
Coming out of turn 1 and 2, Brian Cook gonna try coming down the backstretch. Brian Cook's gonna be coming coming out turn 3 and 4. Cody Crabtree's still your leader.
The battle for the lead is underway between Crabtree and Cook. Cook just can't quite get a good enough run on the top side as Crabtree's down on the bottom side of the speedway, holding on by about a half a car. Oh, Cook's got something cooking as he overdrove it. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Brian Cook overcooked 1 and 2 and looped it around. All right, race fans, we're going to do a single file restart. Cody Crabtree going to be your race leader. Jeremy Hazel second. Mason Roden third. And Brian Cook's going to go to the backside. Can Cook get back up there and get a battle for that number 1 spot? Out of turn 4. Green flag is in the air.
Coming into turn 1 and 2, Cody Crabtree's going to go low. Coming down the backstretch, turn 3 and 4. Cody Crabtree's going high.
Crabtree, your race leader. Jeremy Hazel going to sit there in second. Mason Roden third. Brian Cook trying to get that momentum back as he was up there battling it for that number 1 spot. As we come out of turn 4, it is all Cody Crabtree. Jeremy Hazel second. Cook just trying to get back on his line and get that momentum back as he's having issues doing that. We're going to come out of turn number 4. We're going to see the white flag. One more trip around. Cody Crabtree, your race leader. Look out, Hazel loops it as we're going to see the black and white checkered flag out of turn number 4 for the 14C of Cody Crabtree. Oh, look out. Mason Roden second and Brian Cook third. All right, race fans. Up next, going to be heat number 2 for your Power IB mods. Charlie, tell me how they're going to line up.
Row 1 on the inside, we have the number 2 of Eric Graves. On the outside, we have the 1B of the Big Bobby Williams. Row 2, we have the 16 of M. Brian Myers. Right on the outside, we have the 68 of Donnie Betts.
All right, here we go. We already got them stacked up. Keith, the flag man's going to do the jig down the back stretch into 3 out of 4. Green flag up and out and in the air as we're going to hustle on down the front stretch and into 1 and 2. Big bad Bobby Williams going to jump out to that early race lead. Eric Graves going to hold on to second, but you can't count out the 16 man of the Batman, Brian Myers, as he's going to be sitting back there in third. Out of turn 4 to lap number 1. Going to go to the 1B of Bobby Williams, Eric Graves, Brian Myers, Donnie Betts. That's how they're lined up right now as we go down through 1 and 2. So Bobby Williams got himself a very good lead right now. Eric Graves holds on to second, but he kind of bobbled it through 1 and 2 as that's going to let Brian Myers come up to the inside of the door panel as they're going to go down into turn 3. Door-to-door battle for that number 2 spot out of turn 4. Brian Myers going to take over second as Eric Graves going to have to go to the top side of the speedway. He's not going to give it up. Look at the battle you got here for second. And they're going to be silhouetting it down the back stretch and into 3. Bobby Williams a full straightaway. See you, bye-bye. Eric Graves back to the number 2 spot.
Brian Myers spins.
Yellow, 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 yellow. Brian Myers was battling it out with Eric Graves for second and looped it around in 1 and 2. Hey, you ain't gonna believe this, folks, but the Outlaw, the 4A of Dustin Atkinson, is just tuned in. Thank you, Dustin, for joining. Melanie Wynn's watching. Thank you. The Mulletless Man, Michael McKnight, watching as well. So single file restart, lights are off. Bobby Williams leads them in. Eric Graves second. Donnie Betts third. Brian Myers fourth. Green flag up, out, in the air. Here we go.
Myers going to creep up behind Donnie Betts. Donnie Betts is going to still be in the lead of Myers. Coming out turn 1 and 2. 3 and 4. Bobby Williams still your race leader.
Brian Myers down on the bottom side of the speedway, making it work as Eric Graves trying to run the top side all the way around the track. Donnie Betts playing defense to a charging 16M of Brian Myers. Myers just not able to get a run as they are battling it out like two prize fighters. Myers throwing the kitchen sink at Donnie Betts, just unable to get a line around him. As we're going to come out of turn number 4, we're going to see the white flag, 1 to go.
Coming out of turn 1 and 2, Bobby Williams has a nice lead on with Eric Graves. We're going to see the checkered flag. Coming out of turn 3 and 4, race leader will be Bobby Williams, Eric Graves, then Brian Myers, and then Donnie Betts.
Oh, that was a good race right there. And boy, Donnie Betts just yeeted himself up off the track. Ooh, look at that. Dallas on the bottom. Richardson is watching. Hey, Dallas, you ain't going to believe this, but I'm wearing your shirt right now. Hey, Dallas, you ain't going to believe this, but I'm wearing your shirt right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, our heat races are done. Hey, real quick, I want to give a shout out. Mike, I'm probably going to say your last name incorrectly, so bear with me. Mike Reuba. Is that right or wrong? Way off? Yeah, I figured it was way off. I'm going to call you Ray Ray for short. So Mike Ray, he's the guy down there. He took the orange pumpkin tonight while Joshua's the giant lemon. But this is his 51st shot this year. And by shot, I mean camera, like 51st photo shoot this year. So Mike, thank you for being here tonight. It's an honor and a privilege. And we are going to have a little intermission break. Track owner Clint Gann's going to lay some moisture down. But I want to give a shout out again to our sponsors for helping tonight. They've added money into B-Mods and the Pure Stocks, J2 Race Cars, and Rockin' R Concrete. Also want to give a shout out to our other sponsors, Joker Welding, Lazy Lee's One Stop Number 4, Spectrum Designs, and Macadoodles in Osage Beach, Missouri. So thank you again to our sponsors. Thank you to the safety crew down there in the middle of the track. Yep, that guy right there holding his hands up. Unless he's saying the field goal was good, I'm not sure. Is there a game tonight? I'm not sure. Please don't tell me you're a Broncos fan. So we're gonna take a brief intermission. Super stocks in staging. Super stocks, I need you in staging by 9:05. At 9:05 super stocks, you are rolling on to the